aficionados, listen up. You can be wined and dined right here in South Florida and taste some of the best wines the country has to offer. Here is Shari Gherman with the details on the American Fine Wine Competition. Shari, the only thing I like better than having a great guest on is having a great guest on who brings wine. So already my favorite interview. How you doing?
I'm very happy about that. I'm great. I get to bring wine.
Yeah. You are the president of the American Fine Wine Competition, which happens right here in our backyard in South Florida. Tell us about it.
This is an event that started, or a competition that started about 8 years ago, almost 9 years ago. We're going into our 8th annual event. And it started because I was working for another publication and wanted to do an event that brought all of the people that were readers together to have this fabulous networking event and raise money for charity. I wanted to have it to do with wine because everybody who I talked to, I was in sales, and everybody who I talked to was into wine. Bank presidents, commercial real estate guys, accountants, lawyers, doctors, everybody. They're all, I couldn't talk business, but I could talk wine.
Right.
And I went back to the publisher and I said, why don't we do a wine event? And next thing I know, 2007, we had the first All-American wine competition. It's actually an invitational, so we invite wines to participate. We have great sponsors all in the business community. And the first year, we raised over $100,000 for a local charity, and we shared over 400 wines with about 400 people.
And you have events all year long, including one that's happening very soon, which we're going to get to. The actual competition, you were just telling me, is in January, and it's now become the largest invitational of its kind, All-American in the whole country.
Yeah, in the whole world.
In the whole world.
That's right.
That's terrific. And you're going to have approximately how many wines in January?
We'll have about 760 wines.
Okay. So invitation only, who does the inviting?
I have 2 co-founders that I work with. And the 3 of us, our job all year long is to taste the wine. So as we go to trade tastings and we visit wine country all over the country and basically invite the wines that we think are the best that are produced.
Okay, let me jump in with that. So you've developed a pretty good taste, I would imagine, for wine, right?
I like it.
So you would like it, sure. But because I like wine, but I don't know what makes something this much better than this much. Like to the layman, to the sort of like regular viewer watching, like me. And we go out, we're having dinner, and the waiter says, "What do you think? Taste it." What are we looking for?
Every varietal is different, and so what you're looking for. What you're looking for is you really don't want you want to have nice fruit on the front. Like when most people. Want to try something?
Sure.
Here, give you a little.
We'll try a little bit.
Do a little 101.
Sure, just a little.
First thing, don't put your hand around the glass like that.
But that's good because that's a common misconception because people always do this. Okay, so don't.
What you want to do is grab it by the stem.
Interesting.
And the reason for that is that wine should be a certain temperature. You don't want to serve your whites too cold. You don't want to serve your reds too warm.
Okay.
And what you don't want to do is put your hand on it because suddenly you got, what are we, 98.6? We're raising the temperature up. Messes it up.
Okay.
So the first thing I do is smell it.
Right.
And smile.
Okay.
In this, we're drinking a Pinot Noir right now. And a Pinot Noir, it's usually the lighter of most of the red varietals. And so you're looking for like strawberry. You want to find pretty fruit.
So you should shake it up.
Well, I do it first like this because there's sometimes little nuances you might get that you won't get once you swirl.
Okay.
So the first thing you do is just sniff.
Okay.
Then you swirl.
Sniff and swirl.
Then you sniff again.
Then you sniff again. Sniff, swirl, swift. Something like that. Right.
And you have 75% of your taste buds are in your nose.
Okay.
So you almost don't need to drink it.
But you do anyway.
But you do anyway.
Right.
Because it would be a shame.
It'd be a shame to waste it.
Right. So you're looking for, again, bright, pretty fruit. You might get some earth flavors. Maybe you get a little mushroom in here.
Oh, interesting.
Pinot Noir, right? So Pinot Noir sometimes has that.
Okay.
And then what you want to do is, you want to sip it. Right. And then when you put it in your mouth, you actually let it roll around in your mouth a little bit, and you can get different tastes. You have different flavors in your mouth. You have different taste buds, I should say. So you taste something different on the side. You taste something on the tip of your tongue. You taste a little something different on the roof of your mouth, on the back. There's just all these, and if you close your eyes and think about it, it's really fun. I mean, it's actually scientific.
Drinking wine is fun.
Drinking wine's fun. Who knew?
And then, cheers. And then with white wine, is it sort of the same deal?
Sure,
You're doing
absolutely.
the same process, right?
You're going to get different nuances. So in other words, every varietal, white, Chardonnay, Sauvignon Blanc, Riesling, Pinot Gris, Grigio, there's a whole bunch of them. Red, Pinot Noir, Merlot, Cab, Zin, Syrah. By the way, Zin is a red grape.
Okay.
Zin is red.
Okay.
Every one of them has like a different character profile, a different taste profile, different smell profile. And so you look for that. You don't want to find something like you don't want to put your nose in the glass and smell cardboard.
Right.
You don't want to smell wet dog. You
Really?
get it. You get it.
So wet dog is a bad wine smell.
To me, it is.
Good to know. Wet dog is bad. All right, so you and your team have smelled all the wines, you've tasted all the wines, you've made your decisions, you invite these people, they come, and then
the wines come.
The wines come. People do not come.
We don't invite
Just
them to the
wines.
competition.
Interesting. So it's just, so the competition is just some judges sitting around drinking booze.
24 judges spending 2 days drinking over 700 wines.
And what do they use to clean their palate in between each tasting?
Actually there's these olives called Graeber's olives that are made in California, and they're not your typical olives. They're kind of big and fat, and they cleanse your palate. So I usually put olives on the table. I'll put a baguette on the table. We'll put some very bland roast beef and some very bland turkey.
Okay.
So in between they do that, and then sometimes when you get getting towards the end, when we're doing the big red wines, in between you might have a sip of beer to clean your palate. And then another thing that's really interesting too is smelling coffee.
Yes, that right. I heard that one.
Yeah,
This
coffee beans.
By the way, this sounds like the greatest job of all time. I mean, kids, maybe you should aspire to do this. All right, so you have this competition in January.
Yeah.
We also have an event in April, and then there's one in December. And we have only a couple minutes left. So let's hit the December one because it's coming up really soon. Tell us about it.
December 5th at the Coven Center in North Miami, which is on the campus of FIU. We're having a gala. It's our first annual All-American Wine Gala. Unlike the 8th annual, which is coming up in April. I know, confusing.
Right, it's okay.
But let's concentrate on December 5th.
Gotcha.
So we're expecting about 250 people. We're pouring about 60 or 70 different wines. They're all being supplied by Southern, but the wines are all part of the competition. So they're all invited wines. They're all special. They're all awesome. Some of them, like we have our Alpha Omega, which is tiny production, Napa Valley. I think their wines are anywhere from $50 to $150 a bottle. So we're talking premium wines. BV, you see BV in Publix. This is not that BV. This is their George de la Tour, $175 a bottle. This is what we pour, the good stuff. Charles Krug, Dow Winery in Paso Robles that has amazing wines. I know I could keep rattling.
I know, no.
Blackbird.
Well, listen, the only way people are going to know is by going, right?
Yes,
so
and they should come, please.
So how can people get information and tickets?
You can go to the website, AmericanFineWineCompetition.org.
Okay.
Go to buy tickets. First go to Gala, and you can read about it, and then buy tickets is on there. Contact me directly if they want.
Okay.
Shari at AmericanFineWineCompetition.com.
Okay. There's no shortage of ways for people to come to this event, basically.
No.
Right. And listen, what's better than a night of good company, good conversation, and good wine, right?
Raising money for charity. It's a win-win for everybody. The food's going to be amazing.
It sounds great. You had me 8 minutes ago. I was sold. So great to see you, and have a great event. And we're actually going to be there, so I'll see you again at the event.
Good.
All right. Thanks.
Now have a sip.
Yeah, we will.
We haven't had a sip.
Cheers.